Hello and welcome back to our adventures in Westeros. We are currently at the border of the Westlands. Last time we took a little bit of an escort quest to come down here, but this time it might be time for us to go to the Reach. There is another escort emissary quest. We have a lot of provisions. It seems like it might be a good opportunity to go. So, where does Lord Simon Farrow want to go? Or where does he want his, Castellan to go? Is his words I must carry to Averdire Hall, to the Hall of Lord Garland. Guide me, protect me, and trust my missive does not fall prey to prying eyes. Lord Garland Averdire, who is where? That's the next question. Ah, in the center of the Reach. That's perfect. We're all gonna go. I know we can just go by ourselves here and just do like a quick trip, but I'm sending us all there. We're going to see some more of the Seven Kingdoms. So, let's go. Ooh, we can do some dragon lore in a way. I don't know what gathering all this dragon lore actually does. I'm assuming at some point it has something to do with dragons, but beyond that, I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to take a little detour on the way down, though, to go to Golden Grove, just so that we can, just so we can get the experience. But apart from that, yeah, I think we're ready to go. We'll also go for scouting for talent, which will give us a chance to get wanderers. Yeah, wonderful. Let's go. The Wandering Knight. As we walk through the streets of Greenfield, there's a loud ruckus by one of the market stalls, with two men yelling at one another. Before we can make our way there, a man has already stepped in between and talked them down. See, it will be fine, he tells the man in the stall with a smile and hands him a coin. With that simple act of generosity, everything returns to normalcy. He turns to us as we approach, no banner or mark telling me of any liege lord. Perhaps a wandering knight? So I could say, an honourable knight like you should serve a lord like myself, so that's Willis Goldfallow. He does appear to be pretty good. Can I offer you a drink? Chance we can get some diplomacy or prowess, or I don't have time for this vagrant. No, he seems really good. He should join us, definitely. Also, I was going to say, is he good enough to be a second, but we'll have a look at that after this. I come across a man while passing through Barnwood. He is intense and widens his stance as I approach. Greetings, my name is Morgan Meadowguard. I've overseen the loading of carts at the Barnwood market for years. I've organized dozens of farmhands at local mills. Yes, what haven't I done? I would be willing to join your camp. A few coins would be enough to lure me away from this place. So he does want quite a lot, but he'd want to be our second. No, you're only average. We're looking for better than average. Our second... Oh, wait, this isn't... Why is this not sorted by aptitude by default anymore? It's sorted by rank. That's so weird. Anyway, yes. Obviously, I want Willis in here. He's good. It makes me wonder whether any of the other ones weren't sorted that way, but I think we put them in those positions before we had the ability to even check, so that's fine. Right, Willis, you are a good second. He gives us +3 to every stat. Which, you know what? I'm just going to say it, seems pretty good. There we go. That seems very, very good. Do we have anyone who can be a cook? No, we still don't really have a cook. But, that's pretty good. We now have our second. Right, clear that out, and we're off. Dragon lore, the Red Lake. While traveling by the shores of the Red Lake, I take the opportunity to visit this stony isle at the heart of the vast blue expanse. Though calm reigns here now, it was once occupied by the fearsome Silverwing. Despite being accustomed to humans, the silver-scaled beast became wild and made her lair upon the tiny island after the death of her last rider, Ulf White. So is this a character we could look at him. Can we see when he died? He died 150 years ago from poison. Alright then. The Dance of Dragons was one of the bloodiest and most turbulent conflicts in the history of the Seven Kingdoms. Since the Valerians first tamed dragons amidst the great volcanic mountains known as the 14 Flames, these majestic creatures have long been used as terrible weapons of war, and the dance marks but one such dark account among many. Fire and blood, indeed. I haven't seen the new show, but apparently I say new show, it's what, on season 2, season 3 at this point? But I haven't seen the new show, but it does the Dance of Dragons, doesn't it? I don't know, I can't bring myself to watch it after finishing Game of Thrones. I haven't quite got to that yet. Anyway, teeming with all manner of wildlife, Willis and I agreed that the Red Lake would be a splendid place to go on a hunt. While we don't have time to stay for a proper outing, as we traverse the area, I spot a pristine wild rabbit at the edge of the forest. It has peculiar markings on its fur, and I motion to Willis to survey the animal. As he spots the rabbit, he grins. "What would you say to a friendly wager, leader? Whoever strikes that pristine fellow with an arrow wins." And say, sounds like a deal to me. It's a 50-50, or I don't have time for this. But he will become my friend, and you know what? This is the kind of thing we're doing. We're taking a risk, we're having a bet. We don't care if we lose 20 gold. And I think we might have. But let's see. Willis is a few paces ahead of me as we strive to get closer to the rabbit for a shot. I struggle to keep up as he aims an arrow at the animal and in one swift motion releases it straight into the creature's tiny body. Willis makes a victory gesture and shouts as the rabbit goes limp on the ground, and he hurries forward to pick up the carcass. I clap in appreciation. Wonderful. So, we did lose some money, but Willis is now our friend, which seems valuable in of itself. Right. And now we're heading right down here. And we've arrived. Leader Tristan, your service is noted. You may remain as a guest in my castle. Right. We got quite a lot of money for that one as well. Right. Let's start by... Oh, is he not my patron? Oh, I guess my patron's over here. Okay, yeah. Because it must be the person who gives you the thing, and the person who gives you the thing was over here. There is another escort emissary quest, which basically starts from here. We could just immediately leave. You know what? Sure, where'd you want to go? Yeah. Oh, also, can I upgrade my mess hall? Or my mess tent? I can. Nice. Sure. I mean, I guess we'll do that. And we'll keep upgrading it. Right. And then let's escort another emissary. Right. I am Leora, most loyal servant of the lady. It is her words I must carry to Wyvern's Rest, to the hall of Lord Victor. Lord Victor Verrill. Alright. And Wyvern's Rest, which is very close by. Alright, well, we shall all go. Right. I don't think I want to go to these just now, because we'll probably be going to them if we cross over the river anyway, because these are either side of the crossing, so... Yeah, I don't see a reason for us to do that. Right, let's start traveling. We've arrived! Wonderful. We get a little bit of money for that. And, are you in range? No, she's not in range either for us to potentially ask things of her. Alright. So, the only quest we've got here are diplomacy quests. Let's see if anyone's got anything new at the castle. Right. Let's go to the castle itself. Okay, the Wyvern's Rest castle grounds are, as expected, furnished for martial purposes, with casks of arrows, stray pull weapons, a handsome stable, and the like. The training ground is just outside the gates, and a handful of garrison guards are dawdling around the entrance, either half asleep or polishing their weapons. Cleos looks around contemplatively, then ponders the robust banner depicting the virile coat of arms, gently swaying in the wind. Alright, let's go to local training grounds. There's nothing I can do here because I don't have enough money. Alright then. Look for able bodies at the garrison. How much are they wanting? Far too much. Do I want to play a game of dice? I'll play a game of dice. We won! Fantastic! We got 20 gold. Oh ho! It's not too bad. Let's go to the tavern. The tavern, gathering travelers and local reachmen alike, is brimming with activity. A storyteller is seated by the fire a bit further in, and up front, a gathering of shabby chums are pestering the server for more tea. By the entrance, I spot an inconspicuous hooded figure, clearly someone who values their privacy. Let's speak to them first. And then there's the seating tax, the Reachman ruffian remarks with a wry smile as he motions towards the hooded figure's chair. That's an additional bit of gold, certainly. The hooded man immediately stands up, and as the hood drops, I recognize him as none other than Master Anselm. This is an outrage, the master exclaims, clearly flustered. Don't make me inquire of my business associates, the ruffian threatens, and the situation grows increasingly tense. So I recognize him as somebody from the city nearby. Alright. Sure. So then say, I'll settle his tab, and that gets this guy added to our roll of patrons. Want to take that up with me instead, or on second thoughts? Let's say, want to take that up with me instead? We got closer to a friendship with this guy, and we added him to our roll of patrons. Nice. At which point, I'm immediately going to move this to the side. I'm going to say, well, you know, if you have any money, I would take your money. And he'll say, sure. Wonderful. Right, back in here. Let's hear a story or two. And yearning to be rid of the incessant hammering, Zeus's head was split in two and forth sprung Athena, the wisest of deities. That's a bit of a weird story for Westeros. We could, in theory, gain some wit experience if we wanted to. How much is a level? Level is 30. Alright, so we're talking like 80 for... Talking like 80 gold for 1 diplomacy. It's not terrible. But let's say... See? Now that makes perfect sense. We can learn something from the moral of the story. You got exotic learning for 3 months. Oh well. Who's up for recruitment? Approaching the crew of unemployed Reachmen, I raise my voice and address them directly. I'm looking for some skilled, reliable people to join my camp. Who among you are up for that task? The interested parties introduce themselves as Dickon the Humble, Raymond the Talkative, and Melanie the Lewd. Cleos hums and peers at the prospects as I consider which candidate to recruit. How much do they want? Alright, well, I'll be seeing you guys later because I do not have money. Right. We don't really need supplies right now. Let's say the town crier may have something for us. I guess we probably want righteousness. Wonderful. Back to camp it is. So what have we got? Protect the innocent and hunt criminals. Well, this is a prowess scheme. And you know what I love about prowess schemes? They're what we've been investing into here. So we can actually do one. Wonderful. Let's do a protect the innocent. The hard-working folk of Red Lines are in need of help. The master offers kind rewards to altruistic adventurers. Hey, this is the guy that we helped out. Wonderful. Let's travel there. Animals, thugs, and ruffians. The mere thought seems to be enough to disturb Master Anselm's demeanour. The common people of the city are so agitated, I fear they may rise in arms any moment now. Those with young families have been rebuking my officers, asking why we have not protected them. Must ensure their safety. There is no time to waste or no need to compromise. Say no reason to compromise. Let's go for a nice even one. Alright. So, we got muscles, thugs, and lookouts. So muscle is just purely prowess. That's prowess and intrigue. So probably prowess and intrigue we want first. That's going to be Eric. There we go. Muscle. That's going to be Cleos. And then what's interesting here is we actually only need a very small percentage to get to max. So let's do these first. Let's do lookout and footpad. So let's do footpad first. It's going to be Viserys. Lookout's going to be Lothar. And then muscle's going to be Willis. That gets us to 100%. And each phase is only 26 days because our mess tent is lowering it by 15. Or sorry, by 10. It's going to be lowering it by 15 in 7 months, but we're actually not going to be here that long. How much is it going up per phase? It's going up by 11%, which isn't that much, but each phase being 26 days means it's going to be very, very quick. Let's go. You can see that's going around super quickly now. I sit by my pavilion, letting the sounds and smells of the camp wash over me. It's different from a life within the safe walls of a palace, so very different. The freedom is easy to enjoy, no obligations, no councillors yapping, no dignitaries to entertain, none of the downsides of the trappings of power. Yet these freedoms are dearly purchased. The constant scraping for survival wears thin, Increasingly, every night I yearn for a proper bed. Must claim some lands in the future, so I can lust for land for 35 years, and at half the cost of the adventurer invasion Casus Belli. I quite enjoy this life. I would become stressed because that's not an ambitious thing. Or best to keep my options open. So chance to get flexible leader and I gain some provisions. Let's keep my options open for now. Nice. So we got both. Wonderful. So well, I guess we were always getting the provisions, but we got flexible leader, which is quite nice. We aren't leading any armies right now, but it's quite nice. Cool. And let's unpause. I think we're just going to wait till this hits 100. I don't think number of keys is going to matter down here. Adenio the Bald is now accompanied by a small feline. He has a pet cat. Well, that's very nice for our friend. I think 2 more ticks. Oh, there we go. That worked. The game kind of lagged for a second, but that's fine. Execute scheme. So, we're going to do this and it's 100% success chance. That seems good. 3, 4, and there goes the 5th lynx this morning. I put the corpse down in the cart right in time for Master Anselm to arrive with some of his servants. What a magnificent job, he applauds. No more murdered cattle, no more lost children. Here, have your payment. If the common folk complain once again, I know who to call for. Cool. So that gets us some extra money, and he's already on our roll of patron, so I guess it doesn't add him. So that's cool. Gained a little bit of money, which is good. What have we got over here? Hunt criminals. Now this is the 3-stage thing, so we can do this. Yeah, I'll take that contract. This is a contract for Lord Garland, who we met. Like this is where we went with to get here originally. I'm gonna go for a smaller group here. Yes. Right. Yes. And I have to make a return trip, but that's fine. Oh, that's... Wow, that's a crazy long route. I'm assuming this isn't actually the route we're taking anywhere. We're probably going to stop, like, here, but anyway. That's fine. Bring me his head. We first meet Abros the Depraved in the Smith... in the Lance of the Smiths. No, we don't. We first meet... That shouldn't say in the Lance of the Smith. That should say wherever he is. So that should be in Avadir. That's what that should say. Spread out towards and around his own little... Yeah, I think actually that's just got nothing there. I think that should say in Avadir, full stop. The Lance of the Smith spread out towards and around his little band of ne'er-do-wells. All of us tensed and ready for bloodshed. You sniffer and ignorant little cur. Get out here and do Lord Garland's will, are we? Come on, or come then, hound. Face me and prove yourself nothing more than a yelping lapdog. A terrible stillness overcomes our assembled forces. No one quite willing to break the silence for fear of what might come after. But we're not better than them, so I think we're going to have to do an ambush again. Let's go with this. So same odds basically as last time we did one of these. We got victory point. That's cool. Now we're heading past. Oh, we're actually going to make it to Oakenshield Castle to get our extra, like, XP, I think. Or, yeah, we're going to get our extra lifestyle XP, although it doesn't look like we did, but we haven't actually arrived yet, even though the model's passed it. Land of milk and fish. As I get up early in the early morning, I cannot help letting out a loud yawn. Stretching, I make my way out of the tent to see that people are already moving about. I notice Willis heading off with what looks to be a makeshift fishing rod through all the noise and bustle of camp. Where are you off to? I ask him. He responds with a nonchalant shrug. It's a nice day for fishing. Well, you know what? Sure. That sounds like a good idea, actually. Let's get some provisions while we're here. Once known as the Misty Islands and home to the dreaded Iron Man, the Shield Islands have become a bastion against their once masters. Cool. And we finished our mess tent. How much does it cost for the next level? The next level is 240. Alright, sure. I'm just investing in this now. We have decided I'm getting our mess tent to be the best mess tent the world has ever seen. So is this just out at sea now? Guess it is. I mean, if we actually end up going to Hightower, we need to explore it fully, but we'll see how far it makes us go. Ah, there you go. Signal and ambush. We've won, I think? Yes, I believe we have now completed the thing. Okay. Although it hasn't actually, like, done anything here. So I'm now heading to Old Town, I think, right? Yeah. So I kind of want to go through all of it. And then back to the Citadel, and then on our way out. Then I guess I kind of want to go to Brightwater Keep as well. Then after Brightwater, I want to go to Horn Hill. And then maybe High Garden on the way past. Yeah, something like that seems reasonable. Right, go. So we're going to get some dragon lore in here as well. Derelict ship. The sea is calm and forgiving today, still as a boulder, and a powerful wind at our back to boot. It seems like it'll be an easy day for the roars below, but then I spot the mangled corpse of a ship buried nose first into some jagged rocks just ahead. There doesn't appear to be any survivors, and the rocks would be no trivial thing to navigate, yet I feel compelled to go and investigate this mysterious wreck. Sure, let's investigate. I found nothing. Alright. Well, that's fine. Bring me his head. So I think we already have 2 positives here, but anyway. Damn and blast your infernal persistence, Tristan. Will you not cease hounding us? Take some other work elsewhere, for you'll have no silver out of our blood. I'm sure it said that we were going to... Oh, we need 3 apparently. Wait, no, you have 0 of the required 2 victory points. But we got a victory point last time and we got a victory point the first time. So we should have 2. Alright, I guess I'll take the 37% chance. He escaped. Well, with that, Ambrose the Depraved finally manages to shake our pursuit, punching clean through the ambush and fleeing with alacrity. Lord Garland's agents are disappointed when they catch up with me, but hardly surprised. Even with their understanding, with no head to deliver to their master, they have no intention of giving us pay. I think we succeeded in that, because it said that we got 2 +1s, so I'm fairly certain we did succeed. I know that it doesn't look like we succeeded, but I mean, we got 2 +1s, so surely we succeeded. Anyway, I'm going to ask this guy for some men-at-arms. You know, he has no money, he has no provisions. Let's see if he'll... Oh, he has no provisions because we're maxed out. Let's see if he'll give us any men-at-arms. He gave me Summer Nights. Oh, wow. Heavy cav. Okay, let's have a look at these guys. So, these guys are very, very good, I think. Let me just compare to what I can, say, light horsemen. Or actually, armored horsemen. There we go. 164.20. 164.20. Oh, so these are just armored. These are flavored armored horsemen then. Okay, they're still good, but... Oh, also we get 75 of them? How many armored horsemen do you get? You get 50. So these are 25 more base versions of armored horsemen with some very specific, like, terrain advantages and disadvantages. Alright. They also counter archers, heavy infantry, and skirmishers. Is that the same for you? It is, okay. See, like, these ones have some terrain stuff, but these ones have a lot more. Huh. The chivalry of the Reach is a beautiful sight to behold in times of peace and a terrifying foe for infantry in times of war. Awesome. Alright. And they seem good. They're going to cost us a lot of provisions, but they seem good. Right. Gained a level of devotion. So we are now at Faithful, which gets us some same faith clergy opinion. Dragon Lore. The Citadel. Upon arrival at the Citadel, I am directed by an Archmaester to a collection of books. They look ancient, but are clearly well looked after. I should find a comfortable chair somewhere. It seems this book is rather thick. The book goes into rather intricate detail about the various known hatching of eggs, starting from the Targaryens' immigration to Dragonstone from Old Valyria all those years ago. I must start studying. My dragon lore is increased further. I must have a lot of dragon lore at this point. I don't know what to do with it. Is there a decision or something that's dragon lore based? No. I guess I could go to the artifacts market, but that's for sell artifacts, so probably not. Dye hair? Interesting. Manage realm affairs. Adopt a set of personal arms. Huh. Buy knighthood. You are not available. Apparently we can buy a knighthood. Maybe that should be our next thing to do. Tip the host. The afternoon is quickly advancing into nightfall as we enter the local farm estates of Honeyholt. The estate owner Wyland greets us warmly and promises to host a lavish feast for us. Once the feast starts, we dine on a veritable menagerie of roast animals, stews, soups, bread, and the like. In the morning, Wyland approaches me as I enjoy my breakfast. My lord, hosting such an extravagant shindig as yesterday can be expensive. Then say you should pay me for the prestige I brought to your farm, or let me compensate you. I guess, let me compensate you, I will say. Wonderful. Been there, got some martial experience. Through this way, visited Horn Hill. Long been an arrow in the quiver of the Reach, one that is regularly notched against would-be enemies, it says. Work our way up this way. Visited High Garden, was the seat of the Gardener Kings raised by Garth the Gardener, is commonly stated to be the most beautiful castle in the realm, maybe even the world. Wonderful, we're gaining a lot of experience as we go through these, although I think we might be maxed on Traveller experience. We're not. In fact, we're seasoned, but not at level 1 Wanderer, which is kind of funny. That's usually not how that works, but because usually you get Wanderer so much quicker. Anyway, we've done that trip. Wonderful. I don't really want to do any of these missions, so I guess our next move is probably to move our camp. Now, there were a couple of things I wanted to see over here, so let's maybe go to Cider Hall, to the Fosburies. Oh, the Fossaways, that's it, to the Fossaways. Yeah, let's head over here. Right, and we will see what's going on at Cider Hall. Right, so we've now arrived. And then what we're going to do... Oh, we can make a request. We must be close enough to here as well. I'm going to request some provisions from you. And we get a little extra money as well at the end. Wonderful. Then let us visit the castle. I don't have a ton of money, so I think I'm more looking to see if you have jobs. Nope, not interested in either of those job types. I'm done here. Alright, where are we going now then? I don't really know. Let me go into travel mode just so we can have a look at this map mode, because I think this is quite useful. We could start making our way over to Summerhall if we want to just say like we're going to see the dragon lore. Yeah, it's the only bit of dragon lore we've got left over here, so yeah, we could go there. Let's make our way over to Summerhall, whatever routes we've got. So to where to one of King Rhaegar's holdings. So on the way there, I also want to go to Ashford Meadow. Am I able to do that, or is that much further away than it seems? No, that's reasonable. Okay, I can cross over this one. Yeah. Okay. And then can I make it there without running out of supplies? I can. Oh, perfect. Well, that seems good then. Start moving my camp. We will head over this way. The womb of the earth. The fields of Foztown are a sight to behold. Every crop in bloom, every leaf green, every stem luscious. I quickly tracked down the source of the verdancy, spotting a man standing in a field, seemingly holding a lecture of some sort to a gathering of listeners. My name is Master Mathos. He notices me in the distance and turns in my direction. My knowledge of gardening is vast, yes, incomparably vast, so stay a while and listen. So I can say, doing gardening, I'm not going to do that, or I can say, colour me intrigued. Colour me intrigued. You got down to earth for 10 years. It's a learning boost and a health boost. Alright. Travails of a cook. I don't think we're being unreasonable, snarks the cook, who presumably drew the short straw in coming to speak to me, waving an arm dismissively at the surrounding terrain all the while. It seems like we're missing a word here, but stock up on some of the little luxuries that make our food bearable. I sigh, weary of the conversation already. I wonder which one of us will break first. Yes, our provisions are perhaps a bit below where we'd like them to be, but there's little cause for such alarm. We can probably find something. Restocking would be a good idea anyway, or it's not in the budget. Let's see what we can find. We found some provisions. That's cool. We're pretty much maxed anyway. The tourney that brought the end of Baelor Breakspear Targaryen and began the friendship between the future king and his Lord Commander Ashford will forever be tied to it. So that is the Duncan Egg books. I think that's the first story in them. So yeah, that's what that's a reference to. Right. As it are, I believe that the Fozzaways are as well, although it's not these. Is these Fozzaways, and there should be another one somewhere. On these other ones should be a different type of Fozzaway. Anyway, I suppose I could look at it here. Yeah, there you go. See, there's a separate house as well. So there's a red one and a green apple. Cool. Anyway, moving on. And Summerhall. I could have sworn that I could still smell the burning ruins of Summerhall. A tragedy occurred here, but I'm intent on finding information that led King Aegon the Unlikely to host such an intricately planned hatching ritual here. Very little remains of the summer manse's construction, only piles of scorched brick and the occasional pane of glass. The undergrowth has taken over, however, making it difficult to look for clues. Thankfully, my efforts pay off. My diligent searching reveals scraps of the king's notes buried under some fallen bricks. I'll have to piece them together myself, but this is good progress. What really happened here? Oh, what happened here is my dragon lore increased. Now, we can't actually do anything in Summerhall. Ah, but somebody wants us to take him somewhere. Lord Ogden. Densmore wants us to take him somewhere. Alright, where do you want us to go? Oh, I need to wait a second. There we go. Where do you want to go? You want to go to Crow's Nest. Where is Crow's Nest? That seems reasonable. We shall all go there. Well, if I could avoid going over the mountain, I think I would very much like to do that. Yeah, so let's just customize our route slightly. Let's go to that one. Cool. Do I want to go here? I'm not that bothered. Yeah, alright, let's go. Start traveling. Then we really do need to get some provisions, but that's okay. We've arrived. Right. Your service is noted. You may remain as a guest at my castle. Wonderful. That's cool. I got a new Wanderer's perk. We'll take Of the People. When you move your camp, gain fame equal to 15 times your diplomacy skill. Fame is, in case you don't know, this is just a recap for people who don't know, it is the secondary part of prestige. So when you gain prestige, you gain fame, but you can gain fame separately from prestige, which is what this would be. And then it just goes up, basically, to the next level. So we can't spend it on anything, but it determines what level our fame is at. Right, we can make a request of Lord Ogden. I'm going to request some provisions. I think that's fair. And then I think it is time for us to visit the castle. We don't have a lot of money, but we have a little. Let's go to the tavern first. And we will hear another story. And then Horus and Set became mortal enemies, vying for the empty throne. Well, how much experience would you give us? 5 wit experience. You weren't very good. Well, I'll say that makes perfect sense. Gained 100 diplomacy lifestyle experience. Who's up for recruitment? Anyone we can afford? Approaching the crew of unemployed Stormlanders, I raised my voice and addressed them directly. I'm looking for skilled, reliable people to join my camp. The interested parties introduced themselves as Ronard the Humble, Joffrey the Cocky, and Terence the Misanthropic. Wow. They want so much money. Well, I will see you later then, I guess. I'll go to the castle. Yeah, we already know that we don't have enough for that. Right. Town Crier. Let's see. Scholarly work. Organization or lucrative opportunities. I mean, I'm not terrible at scholarly stuff. Maybe we'll take a chance for scholarly work. Need work of some type, so let's see what we've got. Create a work of learning or transcribe texts. So 3 learning skill challenges, alternatively relying on lifestyle traits, or a work of learning that requires learning challenges, but other skills like travel experience may work. Alright, let's do a work of learning then. I don't feel positive about this one. Let's try it. Doing some Scrivener work. Right. Anything in here? That's just saying we have contracts available. What's in a work? I hum as I look around Lord Harold's study. Plenty of scripts, manuscripts, and short stories are gathered here, in neat stacks and lined up on the shelves. A piece of work isn't necessarily judged by its length, surely. Even the mention of a single word can invoke complex emotions. But first things first, what size of work do I have in me? So keep it simple, or my creation will be exhaustive. Additional chance of a skill point in the last chapter. Let's go for an exhaustive work. I do remember this one not working quite as well as you would think it should work, like this event chain, so we'll see how it works now. I peer down at the blank page in front of me. Words. Why is it always so difficult to start? The quill gently stroking my chin, I carefully ponder what the manuscript should be about. Lord Harold wanted a scripture pertaining to the art of stewarding, a valid point for me to consider. Now where to start off? I can dazzle them with my wit. My military knowledge will translate well, or S is for stewardship, my kind of topic. So, the best one is my military knowledge. So let's try some military knowledge. It worked. Nice. Time passes quickly as I sit by the lectern, recording my minute observations and perspectives on military matters. Once in a while, when not out and about, Lord Harold pops his head into the study, peering at my ink-blotchy pages of progress. He hums and then leaves, seemingly busy with more important matters. The thought lingering in my mind, I turn my attention back to the page. Is military matters still pertinent to write about? I guess it is still our best one, so yes. Wonderful. Servants pop by occasionally, quietly cleaning the room or providing morsels of food, but always taking utmost care to be silent and carefully closing the door on their way out. Alright, let's see here. Still seems like it's the best one. I don't know why. Oh, the contract has extra rewards for the stewardship topic. Oh. S is for stewardship. My type of topic. We did not receive any score on that one. A thought suddenly occurs to me. Battle, it's not so difficult, is it? The more I think about it, the more inspired I feel to share my knowledge on the subject. Servants pop by occasionally. How about efficiency? It also failed. The final chapter. Reading through my scribbles, I let out a pleased grunt. Relevant and concise, this should be able to satisfy Lord Harold, certainly. Plates have kept stacking up as I enjoyed the last few shreds of hospitality now that my work here is coming to an end. Are the servants stingier of the food now, though, or am I imagining things? Acknowledging this, I then move on to the more pertinent question, trying to decide whether I should keep writing about organization, or whether it be wiser to diversify. Let's go for another stewardship one. Let's go. Terrific chapter. Wonderful. Conclusion. What kind of... Lord Harold stops for a moment before tossing the manuscript to his attendant. You had the gall to spend my hard come-by ink and sheets on this drivel. Now wandering in small frantic circles, he rubs his temples. I invited you to my home, my study, and this is what you come up with. I have half a mind to call the guards on this betrayal. Yeah, but you are going to pay me, right? That did not go well. I think what we found there is, even if we went for the martial ones, we're only getting like 2% more. I think our stats just aren't high enough to do that, or to do a long book. A short book, maybe it would have been acceptable, but I guess when you've got a book that has 2 reasonable chapters and 3 chapters of nonsense, potentially they're not going to look upon you favorably. Cool. Well, with that rather disappointing end, I'm going to end the episode there. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.